Hey folks, Alan Jones here at HiFi Buys. I'm excited to be able to tell you about the new speaker from B&W, or a new series of speakers, the 800 series. Right beside me is the 802 D4s, and I'm looking forward to telling you more about them in depth. All right, so B&W is really the biggest speaker maker in the world. They're in a whole bunch of studios. They've got a great relationship out there. They build fantastic products. But where we are in today's world with manufacturing techniques, our understanding of physics and these types of things, we are just going to have large increases in the quality or the resolution of a product simply because of a whole bunch of small things that are put together as these people test and test and learn and learn. All right, so let's get into this speaker right beside me. This is a B&W 802 D4. So the flagship of the series is the 801. So the 801 and the 802 share a very similar size. What you will find is there's larger woofers in the 801s. This actually has two 8-inch drivers in it, as well as a 6-inch Continuum mid-range and a 1-inch Diamond tweeter. They're about 90 dB efficient. They like amplifiers from about 50 watts to about 500 watts, so really you can plug them into about anything that's out there. What we have found in them is that they just have such a tremendous amount of presence in a room and allow you to be able to feel the music. I always tell everybody, if your foot's tapping and that kind of thing, you know things are good. So it's one of the things I look for if you come down and we take a listen to different products, is what are the things that kind of make your foot go. So what we have behind us, you end up finding we have the mid-range, which is the most important speaker or driver in the speakers, because it covers more of the range than anything. So most all the overtones and that kind of thing, which help create the differences between, you know, one clarinet to another clarinet, are always the overtones. So anytime we can get more transparency within any of these drivers, but most especially the mid-range and tweeter, those are the areas where we actually make the largest amounts of improvements in transparency. So what you'll find is that they worked on this Continuum cone in the mid-range and went to it a few years ago and saw a really marked difference in the quality and the ability for the speaker to be resolute. So now what they've done is gone back inside the speaker to the spider. The spider is part of the suspension that's on the back of the driver, not the magnet, but in front of that, and it is hooked up to the voice coil as well, and it helps keep the driver centered. What they've done is gone to a biometric spider. And what that means basically is it's virtually weightless, not exactly, but virtually weightless, and doesn't have as much of effect on the cone as it's pushing air back and it trying to push back towards it. So you end up finding we have a lot more transparency because of that. These aluminum housings that you see on the mid-range and on the tweeter are heavily damped. So you end up finding aluminum can have the ability to ring, but when you heavily damp it, it gives you a very inert closure that actually has none of those characteristics to go with it. One of the big things too is the crossover. The crossover is now mounted on an aluminum panel in the back. So what they do, if you, there's a YouTube video out there from B&W that has the making of the cabinets. So these are highly pressurized bent cabinets that are extremely strong, and then they're put into an aluminum back panel and then also an aluminum top plate, which makes the speaker again just extremely strong. And you end up finding too that they've added this the leather by Connolly detail on the top. You'll see this lighter color on these speakers and one other in the line, and then on the darker finishes you'll see that Connolly leather in black. A beautiful, beautiful speaker. We love the finish on these. They've also gone to individual grills on the woofers and the mid-range. We have those on the other speaker on the other side of me. And you end up finding it's really a beautiful, beautiful look. These speakers go down to about 17 hertz, play up to about 28,000 hertz. So they cover a wide spectrum of sound and do it very, very well. Very cohesive sound through them. They weigh 100 and just under 200 pounds each. So it is a substantial speaker. It's wonderful for stereo listening, also a really good choice for home cinema too. They have matching centers and surrounds and that kind of thing that can go with them, even some in-wall and in-ceiling products when we want to get into Atmos and get some of the speaker out of the room. I am really impressed with this speaker. We have it hooked up with the Class A electronics, and I will say the combination of the two is really a nice marriage. We're really proud of what both those companies have done. They're both within the Sound United family, and we really support them and think that they're really doing some great things. I was trying to think of, I as a consumer, and what are the things that I really like and want out of a product. I want something that's easy to drive, is very attractive. I want something that makes my feet tap and, makes me want to go back and play my stereo. And I will tell you what we have right here absolutely does that. So again, I'm very proud of B&W for what they've done. This is not a small generational change. You really have another level of speaker here. And again, the work that they've done on that mid-range is just phenomenal. The cabinet is definitely reshaped. It's also a stronger, more structurally proper cabinet. Not that the other was bad, it's just that again, they learned ways to be able to do things better and be able to make it stronger. Again, I can't say enough. Great job B&W on this speaker, and we look forward to putting a bunch of these in people's homes.